Happy New Year, everybody. I hope that you're having a wonderful 2012, that the good New Year is being wonderful to you, and that you're excited about all of the spectacular things that are coming. 2012 has had a lot of hype. There's a lot of talk, and there's all the doomsday prophecies and everything. But the truth of the matter is 2012 is going to, while it will bring a lot of challenges and changes, that's true, because it's a tremendous amount of change and transition that is ahead of us, but it's also going to bring about a spectacular ending and a spectacular opportunity for the golden age of living that we've all dreamed about, that we've all heard about all of our lives. So I'm looking forward to it, quite frankly. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm poised at the crest of a wave to finally break and bring into my life all the things I've been working so hard to have. Now, this is the next in the series of How I Did It. This is following up on the segment that we did just before Christmas, which was about the dream inventory and using your abundance check, which is setting the environment, setting the pace for creating this new life that you want. So as we're moving into this new year, I kind of, it amazed me how, as I've started to do this series, there have been all these other things in the on the internet that are popping up that are kind of like supporting my whole plan or my whole philosophy, and that is this whole act of recreating your life is about re-energizing your imagination, recreating your ability to dream, and really bringing up the energy to attach to and work in conjunction with the law of attraction. The first thing I noticed was at the beginning of this year was on January 2nd when we had the Rose Parade, which takes place here in Southern California where I live. And the theme of this year's parade was just imagine. And of course, that's something that we all know we can do, but many adults have forgotten how to do. It's a children's world, and in many cases, we often think that that's what it's supposed to be. Using our imaginations are part of our childhood, and as we get older and we're encouraged to become more realistic and grounded, that we're discouraged against dreaming, and we often don't dream anymore. We forget how to dream, and then we get stuck and we get stagnant, and we wonder why. Well, the truth of the matter is it's your imagination, which is your creative tool that Spirit gave us so that we could learn, or we could use it to always magnetize us towards another goal. Always something new, always something wonderful, always something to keep us excited and fresh. So when I saw the Rose Parade theme as Just Imagine, I thought that's just perfect. It's right along with where we are in the How I Did It series, and it's another confirmation to me that we're on the right track. Now, everybody knows about Walt Disney and the Disney Studios, and everything that they do is all about imagination. They wrote movies, they did songs, cartoons, all this about color and imagination and dreaming and wishes coming true and fairy tales and romance, all of the things that we think are part of our childhood. But in reality, most of those cartoons, the animated movies, were speaking to adults. It's way above the heads of children. They get all wrapped up in the color and the animation, the cartoon nature of the movies. But the message, the dialogue, the scripts were written for us to remind us that we need to continue to imagine, to use our creativity to keep us moving forward. Disney had this wonderful idea to create this dream, this place, this playground for children and adults, as he calls it, kids of all ages. And rather than call his employees, he called them Imagineers. In other words, he renamed them with the idea, with the purpose of giving them the energy of being free to create and imagine whatever they want. And so as an Imagineer, I'm inviting you to become one of those as well, because it's going to be the key to you putting your life back together, getting re-energized and re-entering life with your whole heart, mind, and soul. So now, last time we talked about the dream inventory, and I'm hoping that you all took out your pencils and papers and took my list of 5 things that you would need to do in order to create your dream inventory, and that you are in the middle of doing that. I know it's going to take several weeks. In fact, I encourage you to do it over several weeks to give your imaginations a chance to come out of the woodwork and to shake off the spider webs and actually get it going again. For some of you, it's probably pretty rusty and dusty, maybe even need some oil, like the Tin Man. So I hope you've been working on that, but whether you have or not, the information is still out there and you can still download the document and still get busy anytime you want. But this week we're going to talk about using that energy to help you get unstuck. Now, one of the reasons why you're stuck and one of the reasons why you can't move forward is because you are rusty. I often talk to baby boomers as I coach, and they tell me many times, well, I've forgotten how to dream. I don't have any dreams. How am I supposed to start doing that again? And so I said, okay, well, the way to start doing that, and I understand that, which is the reason I'm doing this series, because I was in that place too. I've always been a creative person. I mean, it was part of the kind of work I used to do. But at the same time, things had gotten so deep and so dark for a while, for several years, that I had let my imagination go dark. It just stopped working because I could not believe, with so much going on, I had lost my ability to believe that I could create. I got discouraged, I got depressed, and I didn't really give up, but I didn't know how to get past all of that. So that's how I came up with these techniques that I've been sharing with you so far. So this next one is one that I want you to really give some thought to, because it's based on the law of attraction, which is what we are going to be using to drive us forward in this series. My question to you is this. Before I say that, I talked about doing your dreaming and all of that, and I know some of you are having problems with the dream inventory because you are stuck in that place. You don't know what your dreams are. You don't know what you want to do. I was listening to another mentor of mine, and one of the things that they were putting us through, an exercise that I went through last week to start the new year off right, was to try to come up with what they call the wants. What is your big wants? What are the things that you want for yourself this year? What do you want to have in your life? And this can be anything, whether it's love, whether it's security, money, job, home, car. But the encouragement was to let your dreams or imagination run wild with you so that you could have a dream that you could actually pursue. So to that end, and I'm going to close this window because I think I hear a trash truck. And I've gone way too far to stop and start over. So let's just, roll with this. But getting back to the want list, I found as I was going through my want list, I was still dredging up some of my old feelings and issues. In fact, it brought up some considerable ones, some that surprised me. And so I had to kind of go through several iterations to get it down just to the wants, as opposed to falling back on the old energies of what was happening. And by that I mean not falling back into all the things that happened and rehashing the reasons why you don't have the things that you want now, but to spend the time focusing on dreaming and letting those wants become real in your mind. The whole reason for doing the want list, like the dream inventory, is to give you the reasons why. Now, the dream inventory I actually gave you as a mechanism to try to figure out what kind of business you want to start. But the want list is to give you the reason why you want to start this business. And this means, what do you want in life? Do you want a new car? Do you want money? Do you want a home? Do you want a job? You want new love? Maybe a new partner? Or to be healthy, any of those things. So when you start trying to make that list, some of you are going to have a hard time with this because you're going to say, oh, I can't believe that I could have anything I really want. I'd like to travel, but I don't have the money, or I'd like to have a new love, but I need to lose some weight, or I'd like to have a new car, but, all these things, my credit's messed up, I've lost my job. And the first thing a lot of times people will start to tell you when you say, well, what do you want? They'll first start telling you what I don't want. So the question we're trying to address here in relationship to the law of attraction is, what do you want? But even if you do know what you want, the bigger question is, what is your polarization? And by that I mean, what are you really drawing into your life? Now, I may have jumped a little bit from talking about the want list to talking about your energy level, but they're actually very closely related. I had mentioned before about the law of attraction and how it works. being able to allow things to be drawn to you, being creative, dreaming, and letting your mind attract the things you want in your life, help you to create the dreams by attracting the people and the things to you that you need to help this dream come true. But like I said, I recognize for some of you that's going to be difficult, because I remember how it was for me. Now, when I start asking you to sit down and write a list of the things you want this time, not just your dream business or career, but what do you want? Once you get that career going, what are you going to want with the results of your success, with the money you make? What are you going to want? Do you want to buy a car? Do you want to buy a house? A lot of people are going to sit down when I say make a list of wants. What do you want right now? They're going to say, well, I don't really want anything because I don't believe I can really have it, but I don't want to be homeless, and I don't want to be broke, and I don't want to be hungry. I don't want this, I don't want that. Well, if you can't think of the things that you want, and you really can't allow yourself to desire them because you feel like you're going to be disappointed, then what you're really saying is you don't want all these other things to happen. And by saying that, you're actually saying, I want these other things to happen because, number one, I don't believe I can have better, and number two, you're saying to your subconscious mind, I don't want this, I don't want that, I don't want whatever. And the mind doesn't hear the don't. What it hears is the answer to the don't. In other words, I don't want to be homeless. It hears, I want to be homeless. Because if you're not willing or able to do the things that keep you from being homeless, then the actual energy is drawing to you what you don't really want. I don't want to be alone. Well, what you're really saying is, I want to be alone. It's all about the polarization. In other words, you've got to get your energy shifted to where you're drawing to you the things that you do want and not the things that you don't want. You've got to get your magnetism energy shifted so that you're drawing to you the things that you want, as opposed to repelling them and drawing and repelling the things you don't want. So my challenge for you for this week is, while you're still working on your dream inventory list, start making a list of the things that you want. And if you can't think of anything you want, then I want you to start and work it in reverse. Make a list of the things you don't want. I don't want to be homeless. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to not have a car. I don't want to ride the bus. I don't want to be unemployed. I don't want all of these things. I don't want to be unhealthy. I don't want to be sick. Write down all of your I don't want to be's on one side of a piece of paper. Draw a line down the middle, and on the other side, I want you to write the opposite. So if you say, I don't want to be homeless, I want you to write down, I want a home. If you say, I don't want to be broke, I want you to write down, I want money. If I don't want to be hungry, I want luscious food. I don't want to be lonely, I want a loving, darling, nurturing partner. All of these things, take whatever you don't want and reverse it to what you do want. And then when you're finished, I want you to tear or cut that list in half and take all the I don't wants and we're going to have a little fire ceremony. Whether you have a bucket or fireplace or a fire pit or however you want to do this, I want you to take that I don't want half of that list. I want you to go out at sunset, whatever evening is important to you, however you want to do it. You can take it out to a park or any place where you can have this little burning ceremony. And I want you to put that list in whatever container. Like I said, you can use a bucket. I just want you to contain the fire. A fireplace is really wonderful because it has all this ambience. Whatever you choose, I want you to take this little list and I want you to ball it up, not real tight, but ball it up so that it will make a nice little burning flame. And I want you to put it in this bucket. I want you to bless it. I want you to say a little prayer, whatever religion you or affiliation you have. Say a little prayer of release. I'm blessing all of these things I don't want. I'm surrounding you with light, transforming you into pure energy, and I'm releasing you. And then I want you to set it on fire. And I want the list to burn completely up. And then see the smoke and the ashes dissipate into the air, knowing that you have converted it now into neutral energy. Then I want you to take the list of things that you do want, and I want you to start looking at that list every day, 2, 3, 4 times a day, and repeating to yourself, this is what I want. I can't wait for this to happen. I love these things. I love my new car. I love my new partner. I love having money. All of this stuff is what I want you to do, because what you've just done is, by changing your attention from what you don't want and destroying those don't wants, burning them up, destroying their energy and power, I'm we are going to be shifting our focus to what we do want. This way, as you become more enamored of what you do want and you've now got something visual to represent it, you will start to shift your polarization to attract. Remember, we're magnets, and just like a magnet, if we are in the magnetic complement of a magnet, magnets will pull themselves together and stick like glue. But if you shift one of those magnets around so the polarization is shifted, then they'll repel each other and push each other apart. And when you're focused on what you don't want, that's exactly what you're doing. You're actually repelling the stuff you don't want, and you're drawing yourself to the stuff you're repelling the stuff you do want and drawing yourself to the stuff you don't want. By destroying that and shifting your attention to looking at and thinking about and blessing what you do want, we're going to remagnetize you and repolarize you so that you're going to draw to you what you really want. Okay? It's as simple as that. We're going to work on that for the next week and start shifting your energy and shifting your belief system so that we can start to imagine again and start to really feel that energy of drawing to us what we believe. Now, next week when we come back and talk again, I'm going to start working with EFT, that's emotional freedom technique, a little tapping, because now that we're kind of getting some clarity in our minds about what we want and what we want to be drawn to, we're going to start working with some of this actual energy and shifting it so that we can start to feel love and joy and appreciation and gratitude and raise our energy vibrations above some of these negative energies that are holding us back. I'll talk a little bit about some of the feelings and words and emotions that we have, what their vibration levels are, and you kind of give you an understanding of how you're going to elevate to a certain point. Once you elevate to a certain point, then you can start experiencing these things coming into your life. Okay? So everybody have a great weekend or next week, and I hope you're doing your exercises. They really do work. This really is how I did it. Of course, it took me a lot longer to do all of this stuff because I didn't have anybody really coaching me around. A lot of this I had read in places, but it took a while to put the pieces together to figure out the exercises that would help me shift the energy, and it took, quite a bit of effort and focusing. So I'm hoping that I can shortcut your shifting process and that we can get you going in the right direction soon. I want to get you going in January and start shifting this energy because 2012 is really going to be a spectacular year. It really is going to polarize you, and we will get more of what we focus on. So if you're focusing on the good stuff, you're going to get more of the good stuff. If you're focusing on the negative, you'll get more of that. And I'm really hoping to shift things around so that you'll get more of what you want and have the best experience of 2012 as you can. So Happy New Year again, everybody. I'm glad that you are spending this time with me, and we're going to shift things around together and have the best 2012 that we can. Okay? Take care.